Welcome to my mini-series of Soccer Life 2 here. We're gonna do a gameplay of it, a couple of seasons, and we're just gonna basically go through the beginning, and we're gonna make a great youth academy, and we're gonna get a lot of good players in the future. So this time I decided to basically make this a series of Soccer Life 2. Okay. So before I start the video, guys, I would just like for you guys to like and subscribe the video here. And if we reach 50 or more likes, I will make another part of the series. If so, would be really appreciated if you also could give me a sub to my YouTube channel, guys. Since I'm a new YouTuber and I haven't done this too much. This is my first time doing a series. So anyways, to the point, here we go, guys. Enjoy the game. Okay, so now we have to select our training center, and we can choose between Spain, Italy, England, Germany, France. And Spain is basically known for attacks often involve passing from the midfield, structured style of football, always prioritizes the victory, simple brand of aggressive attacking football. Germany, known for its defensive style of football. France, a balanced style of football. So, for the sake of this series, we are gonna go with the Premier League, which is England basically. Okay, so our initial funding will be 100k, and technically the first year will be a testing year, so we will have a testing player which we can choose of our liking till we get a club for our training center youth player. And the more players you have, the better the value of them they have, the better, the much more training center funds you get. So, as you can see, we're at week 1, September, year 1st, and our training center is rank H, which means like it's the lowest. But now we have to select our first player that I wish to develop. And we have 3 options. We can close the trials, we can remove our player, we can sign a new player. Obviously we have to sign a new player. And here's the thing, here's the cool thing with this game, right? You have a prospect list, which displays the list of all the players that you can actually choose from, you know. And they each have a different value. So for example, this guy, which I'm assuming Hurrington, is the expensivest one. So you can choose between goalkeepers, midfielders, defenders, and forwards. And the child player list is basically where it displays a list of players' children available for acquisition, which means that if you have a relationship, you can get a child, and that child you can bring it into the youth center, aka the training center. And the third one is enter data yourself and create a new player. Now, what I usually recommend in the beginning of the game is that you make your own player, because technically you would be getting an average player in the prospect list, but nothing too fancy. And besides, you know, to make it more of a challenge, you can make your own player. So here's the thing, because usually when you restart a game, they will go up in values. Like, so you see super player silver, usually it's 100k if you're lucky. Good player, normal player. Well, obviously we're gonna go with good player, since fantastic player goal is the best one. And now we basically have to make a name for our player. I just hope I remember how I did this again. It was a long time since I played this game. Let's say we call him Vincent for this series. And from what I know is that you can't capitalize, or rather you can't make a space in between and make another name unless the name is already made from the beginning. So technically this is what you only can do. You can type your player name with one sentence. Now I don't know if you can type two names with space in between, but if you can, then please tell me in the comments if you know a way to do that, guys, because I don't know a way to do that myself. I've seen it in the tutorial, in the walkthroughs, but never actually tried to do it. So alright, so let's choose our name, and we had Vincent, right? So Vincent should basically be somewhere around here, or we could just go by a number. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so now that we have made our player, we have to select his nationality, and obviously since our training center is in England, we have to choose the England one. You can later choose different ones, but right now we're gonna go with England. And now we choose the positions: forwards, midfielders, defending midfielders, goalkeeper. We're gonna go with a center striker, and we're gonna make him 15, because the younger you make him, basically the more potential he has to grow as a player. The height and weight really doesn't matter. And then we have to edit his face. I mean, it doesn't have to be nothing fancy, to be honest. It's just that just make it the way you want, basically. You can choose a color skin here, contours. That's basically the cheek, kinda, as you can see here. You can choose his hair as well, and they have pretty funny hair. But remember, this is from PlayStation 2 and this is an old game, so you just have to get by what you have. Yeah, that will be fine. Save the setting. Alright, so now that we have made our face, we have to choose our boots, and you have you can pick between black, red, blue, gold and green. We're just gonna go with red. And now here we have the point system, where you basically have to assign points. So for example, if you want your guy to be physical, you put all the points in here. If you want him to have a good sense for the game, you put everything here, all the points here. Mental, how much stress and nervosity he can take. Basically, it's mental. It kind of explains itself in a way. Offense, how good you're on the offense. Let's say you're attacking, you're heading and so on. Defense goes for defense, and goalkeeper goes for goalkeeper. So in the beginning, I usually balance this because I want my guy to be good physically, sense and mental, and then offense, rest of the points, because you don't need defense or goalkeeper skills for a forward. It's not necessarily. You can take it, but it wouldn't make you any favors with the position you're playing. So here we go with another cutscene, or the CGI scenes, however you want to call them. So this is the time where you will have a test player, and you can choose whichever test player you want. And this is only available in the first season because it needs to be done, because your player needs to get a club and grow as a player. So that's why we do the test player for one season. Now I think this is a bit stupid, but on the other hand, it's a good tutorial for people that doesn't know the game. So here we have Cesaro, which is Zidane, Ronaldo, Shevchenko, I believe, Aymar, Recobar, Beckham, I believe, Vieira, Resna, I think this is Maldini maybe, Puzo, Puyol, Azana, Chorem, and here's Buffon. I would like to actually be a goalkeeper for once. I mean, that would be pretty fun. I've never been a goalkeeper before. So we're gonna go with Buffon, just because. Yeah, so anyways, this is the event, private life, agent, team, and training. You have different tabs here. And then if you go down here, you have parameters, which basically is your skills and the skill bars. Schedule, offers, offer from other teams. Team, Italy 1 to 20 means that the position, the coach, private life, event. So in the beginning you can't do that much, but rather you have to just play the game. Obviously, there's one thing you can do in the beginning of the season here is if you go here and you go to your player, click on your player, you can emulate him. And by emulating, I mean you can choose a player that he takes from. So, for example, you can search from the club team or search. Now, here's a tip for you guys. Choose a forward. Choose just a forward for the position you're choosing. And nationality specify. There hasn't. I mean, you can choose whatever nationality you want. Basically, it doesn't matter. Don't specify the league either. Sort transfer, because you wanna take the ones with the transfer values mostly. So here we go. We have Thierry Henry, which is in Arsenal right now. And as you see here, you can see his skills and his fee. You have Del Piero, Ronaldo. So you can choose between those three players, or you can even go down below and you have some more selections here. Ronaldinho even. Now I want my guy to be a Ronaldinho guy. So for example, if I want to be Ronaldinho, I choose him. And then you can choose from a club team again. But I'm not going to choose from the club team. I'm going to search normally. Sort by transfer again. And then I want him to emulate from Thierry Henry. So Ronaldinho and Thierry Henry, I want him to emulate from those players. Boom, yes, done. So you can only do this in the beginning. If you don't do this in the beginning, basically you won't be able to do it later. So I duly recommend you do that. And he can also play abroad. But right now, as you see, we don't have the funding to do that. But that's something you can do. And they could basically increase their potential even more. So that's the only thing you can do in the first season. So we're gonna go to the next week now. And we have a reserve match here, which we probably will not play in. It's highly unlikely at least. Here's the goal for the seasons. This is something you go through with in the first season and every season. We'll explain this more in the next season here. So you see we're a sub. We're just gonna end this here. And we won 3-1. I do expect that we're going to be called up to the Italian national team and also do some training sessions, but that's a perfect moment to show you guys how it works and stuff. And to see we're starting against Orabici here. I can play one game for you guys, one game I can play for you, and here you have the selection. So basically if you go here you can check the info settings, setting up play skills. So we can set up his play skills. So you can join the fast attack, you can go for a fast break, you can cover, you can catch a ball. You have a lot of skills that you can choose from, and these skills will be obtainable in the later stage. Depends how it's go for you and your career. But basically here we have our first game. We press start button, and what's gonna happen here is that it's just gonna simulate the game, unless something happen like a scene, which basically then you will be able to select it by pressing on the button on the keyboard or on the controller you use. And like I said, this game, you can play this game on your PlayStation 2 emulator. I made a video tutorial on how to do this. So just follow that tutorial and you should be good. Here we have, and I think that was, that's Trezeguet loses the ball but goes to say Jonathan Sabina. And as you see, we have scored a goal, 1-0 against Orabici, and I'm assuming that that's Torino or something. And there's us, aka Buffon. And basically with the skills you have with your let's say goalkeeper, you can use them in the game and they will use it automatically, and basically then what happens is that it will make an opportunity for your team, which happens to be 2-0 for some reason. So see, that's how it is, guys. He made an opportunity for his team and they capitalized on it. You can even see the replay here. We're not gonna look at the replay though. It's kind of useless, to be honest. Okay, so here we go with the second half here, and as you guys can see, we haven't gotten any shots on our goal yet. We're still waiting for the first save opportunity here, but so far Juventus has seemed to be leading the possession and the game overall. Here I'm Mauro Camoranesi with a cross to Trezeguet, and Trezeguet misses. But now basically we have gone at the defensive, which means that we will create less chances and they will probably create more chances on us. As we are going defensive, Taginardi, Trezeguet, good through ball, Trezeguet, chips, Del Piero, Del Piero misses. Oh, should almost be done with the game here. 33rd minute, they changed to the offensive and now they might create another opportunity, not sure, but they might. And here goes Ibrahimovic in. For him and Sabaleta, I think, or can't remember his name. Salayeta, yeah. Here we go again. Paul Nedved, Del Piero, Trezeguet, and that should be the game, guys. So we win 2-0 over Orbici, and they didn't create too much on us, but then again, we are Juventus and we are a good side with good players. And now after the match, we will make some growth from our match, which happens automatically if you play a game, and that's how you grow as a football player. So technically you will be you have to play a lot of games in the first season to grow as a first season player, but it's not always sure that you will grow that fast. So here we go with the national team training session. I've been invited in the team training, which means that I can do the team training. And if I confirm this, I will get the national team coach confidence from him, which will make my more chances to play in the team and make him to trust me or make me captain, or I can decline. This time I'm gonna take part though. So simming is basically just going to the next week and not doing anything at all. I know this is pretty boring, so I will probably be editing this from the video myself. But right now we will just go to the next week here, and we'll start again. Aquilotti, Piemonte. Now I could technically play all the games I wanted to, right? But like I said, it's not like I want to play for a test player for a whole year. That's more if I want to enjoy the game. And now we have the income report, which basically is the paycheck of your player. So we see you have gotten like 388k, and we don't pay any agent salary because it's a test player, and we don't handle the economy in the first season. We do it in the second season. And now we have a Italian tournament, which we won 2-0 again. And the better you do with your player, the more funding you get, basically, at the end of the season. So you can win everything and be the best player ever, and you get additional funding because they will rank you on how you've done with your player. And Dotte, I believe that's Milan, which we won over 1-0. So everything seems to be going well here in the first month, and now we have a training session. So basically at this point you will get to choose with your players, and you can go for training, battle for position, practice individual, I believe, take a break, let coach decide, training setup okay, and return to player. Right now we're gonna play with training. So here you can set up the skills of a player that he will develop distributing the points you have here. So we have the adequate, which basically increases my goal keep technique and my goalkeeper sense, or the one-on-one. Now I usually go a bit balanced on this because technically you want to be training like one-on-ones and adequate. You don't want to be playing these here because they're useless. I mean, technically you could improve catching, but right now one-on-one is what we need. You can even choose a training partner here. And for the sake of the training, I'm gonna choose Del Piero. Okay, so here we go, guys. First training. Good save. And you see, this is kind of what you will do. You will try to save every shot and goal. Which is pretty easy if you have a pretty skilled player like Buffon. He will have no problems with saving those shots here. Again. And every time you do something good, you will hear like a bleep in the background. Like this. Which means that you made it. If you miss it, he will score. And then the training session will basically be over. And as you progress, the bar will be smaller for you to succeed, to make it harder. But we did it, so we go up in everything. And also our coach trust rose and teamwork with the team rose up. Because we played with a teammate. So that's the training, everything went well. I think the next training is in April, I'm not sure. So right now we have 2 club teams that have given us an offer. We have, let's see. We have Hamgros, which is Hamburg, and we have West Ham. But we're still gonna wait on what team we should pick. And also, you can see how it's growing if you press R2. I think you can. No, here we go. Coach comment. So here we will see his skills and how it's developing. So in September, nothing has happened, but something is obviously gonna happen in October. So we'll get a report from him in October to see how he's doing. But he's pretty much balanced with his skills, as you guys can see. So that's something that you want to start off with in the beginning with your youth player. So let's go to the next week here. Let's not dwell around. Let's be done with the free test year as soon as possible. And in this game we're a sub, which we won 3-0. So we didn't have to be in the game there to be able to play it. But I'm sure we're going to be in the next game. So here you will also get news sometimes, which some notifications will come up here. But again, it's nothing really important besides just notifications saying that some tournaments are starting. And now we are in November. Another paycheck comes in, and from this point on, we should be able to see our progress with our training. Yes, training is going smoothly. And if you go to coach comment, you will see he's improved a bit in dribbling, forward stance. So we see the training going smoothly here in the beginning of October. And you will get a report every month on him to see how he's doing. And obviously, the better the player you get, for more value, the better he will be, basically. So I choose the normal, the good player. And he wasn't that good, but obviously the more value or the more funds you use for a youth player in the first season, then the more chance you will have, and it will be more likely that he will be a great player in the future. But that's something that is not achievable in the first season, but rather in the first season you only get 100k, which you then have to use to be able to buy your first player or make an own player of your choice, which I did. So we have won 3-0, and last game was 2-0, and we have even been invited to an international friendly against Turkey. So we're gonna confirm this game here, and it's always a good sign when you get invited to international games, because then basically what happens is that you will get a chance to be on the international stage. And you will have a chance to win more trophies, and we get more recognized as well as a player. So we're in 1st December. We have another game against Milan, which we won 2-1. Thanks to Buffon. He probably saved the whole game for us there. And as we go through the next week, we're gonna see how our player has developed over the 2 months. So training is still going smoothly. We'll go to coach comments. If you see on October, it was the same. You see in November, same. And here you see he has grown a bit on everything here. So everything is pretty much balanced. But basically much of the attacking mentality stuff on the offense has been increased for him. And this should be the international friendly. As you guys can see, we're playing against Tunisia. I'm not gonna play that game though. As I said, I'm just gonna simulate every game. But we won 2-0, which is kind of obvious because we're Italy and we have really good players. And we're getting closer to January, and January is a month where basically you will get the chance to be, depending on which team you are, you will have an off-season in January. It's not for every team because every team has a different off-season schedule, but it really depends on the team you choose. So you can take part in the drawing here, and Europro is basically the EuroLeague. And here you see it. Just draws the teams in each group. So we have Lombardia, which is Milan, Manchester United, Mönchengladbach, Milan, Equipo, Merengues. Equipo is Valencia, Merengues, Ballan Kjelmen is PSG, that's Arsenal, Rigalus is Liverpool, Tefle is Chelsea. Wow, a lot of English team in Group A. Coolest is Barcelona. And we get Madrid, Valencia and PSG in our group here. Okay, so this is basically the drawing. You can participate in the drawing, or you don't need to participate, but it's entirely up to you. We're a starter against Valencia. I'm not going to play this game. We made it a draw against them. So the next game will be against Lombardia, which is going to be in January, I believe. And as you see, we have been appointed to captain on our team because we have been doing really well lately. So eventually we'll become captain, where you can ask your manager if he wants to sign a player for you, or make a tactical change in the tactics. Let's see. So December training is still going smoothly. I still believe we have 2 offers. And in February we will mostly be likely choosing a team here. And as you see now, we have a yellow text name next to our name, as you see, which means that we're captain. And from this point on, you can propose a strategy as a tactic to the coach here. You can go for normal, counter, side attack, press, penetrate. So if you do this, he will say we'll use it, but you know what happens if we lose. Then you can interrogate the coach about the change of the lineup. You can start as a reserve player if you want to. You can set your playing area. You can set your skills. You can set your versus opponent, and then team info. And here you can simulate the game. And basically, when you do this, nothing else will happen. It will just basically simulate here. As you see, we are doing 1-1. Extra time. Looks like they won the game. Milan won the game, and that means that they won the finals of the Italian Premier tournaments. So it's a shame that we fell down in the last minute, but stuff like happens, and you don't really have to worry about that because this is just a test season for that player. And our stamina is really low here, so I'm just gonna let the coach decide on what to do with us, with our training. But obviously, if I would start as a reserve player, then I could basically save up energy for the next game if I want to. And that's a pretty smart idea to do, because if you're gonna get played a lot, you want eventually to be a reserve player and save up your energy for the training. Playing against Senesi, which we won 2-1. Okay, so at this point we have 1 offer left, and that's Hamgros. So we're probably gonna go for this team here. And at this point you can see their funding, and they want to invest in offense. Not in defense or the med. They want to invest in an attacking football club. So a club in the lower Saxons capital looking to stay in the first league actively gets players from Senegal and Eastern Europe, including the Czech Republic. Not a strong training team. Now the only side thing that isn't good with this team is obviously the training, right? Because you want a good training team that actually has a strong training standards, because the more stronger training standards the team has, the basically you get as a player. And you can also see the agent report, coach type score, which means that he wants you to score a lot as a player. RWC, VLNT, sub, RMF. Off-season schedule is normal. So at this point you can go to OK. You can negotiate a salary. So right now their offer is 1 year and 36k. So we're gonna see if we can go for at least 37. We don't want to push it too far, but they should give us 37, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Good. So in September we have a debut with our player, and that's the point where we will basically be our player ourselves and not be this player here, which is Buffon, right? Again, this is only on purposes to for you to get to know the game. Eventually we will come to the off season where you will have a lot of options to do. You can buy furniture, you can buy cars, you can buy houses, you can even date, and you can do more. But that's not something we're gonna do with Buffon, because you can't do it with the lone players. You can only do it with your own players, basically. And Valencia won 1-0, which means that we have to win the next couple of games if we want to qualify. And at this point we get another income salary, and this is what happens every month. You get a salary which you can use for buying furniture, buying cars, buying stuff that can help you, books, everything. And that's something we're going to do in the next season, because this first season we're not going to do that because we will not have the option to do so. But it's more meant for us to look and see how it works. Like I said again, it should go really fast this first season by simulating all the games. And you can also see how your player is doing if you go to Pro Real menu. And I believe it was your agent, if I recall. And from this point on you can see your rating, I believe. So we have 31 points. And as you can see, when test player terms end, you'll be awarded a training center grant according to your points. Under 39 points, 500,000 yen. For 40 to 59 points, 1 million yen. And so on. And there is a lot of options in the real pro menu. That's not something, however, we're gonna do this first season because we can't. We can only look at them, but we can't actually do anything. And at some point, when you the more you come into the seasons and the more seasons you simulate, obviously the real players will be gone, but they will be regenerated, which means that the regens, they will have regens, right? And that will happen every time they retire. And that's something that I've noticed as well, because when I first started playing this game, I basically wondered what would happen if the real players would retire, which they did, and eventually they came back, but in other club teams, basically, with lower skills. But they were like 17 or 18, so it repeats itself, basically. So we're at March, and we're nearing us the end of the first season here. I think it is in August it ends. But I have a feeling we're gonna win the Italian league here, because we have won a lot of Italian League 1 games here. So the possibility is high that we're gonna win it. We have another game against Friulani, and the club names are a bit, as you can see, they're a bit weird, and that's something that you're gonna have to change in the options menu when you press start menu button and go there and change every club name, because that's not something I've done. I was thinking about doing that, but I was just like, let's just go with the normal, with the vanilla version with these club names, and obviously they couldn't have the real names because the copyright stuff and so on. So it's it's pretty sensitive, so to speak. Now I don't know how long this episode has been. 35 minutes. Okay, guys. I'm just gonna make this last game here. And we're gonna end this first episode here, guys. Yeah, let's just do the training session first here. Just let the coach decide. Okay, now something weird happened. This might happen sometimes, but that's just normal. Okay, so just save the main game here, guys. I'm gonna do another episode depending on if we get 50 or more likes. If you like what you see, guys, please, again, I'm saying this again, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, guys. It was a really pleasant experience to record this for you guys, and hopefully you guys liked it. Until then, see ya, and take care, guys. Peace.